2nd and 20, incomplete. Deion all over it. Looking for Isaac Bruce and Sanders. It's like he's in mid-season form, and he's playing in his first live football action since last season.
302 pounds, but he's still running around chasing him down the field. And here you see Deion Sanders with that perfect man-to-man coverage again.
Hard snap count and the flags. Chandler airs it out. Deion Sanders with the coverage, and a flag flies.
Pass interference number 21, accepted, first down.
Deion Sanders whistled for the foul.
Well, let's take a look at it at the top of the screen. I mean, maybe there was some truth to Flipper Anderson saying he's got the wheels to beat Deion. And there you see Deion reaching in with his left hand, and that's all it takes. The referees will call that.
First down, incomplete. Deion Sanders all over Flipper Anderson.
Starts the man in motion. Everett back to throw. It's the pass out to Early for a safe first down. Everett. Good throw, but not enough for a first, as Quinn Early had to come back to make the catch.
Deion Sanders was right on him. Deion Sanders, I think, by having good coverage, really forced Quinn Early to break that pattern off before he got to the first down marker. I mean, you turn on TV, you expect to see some ball, and you see that.
Take a reverse. Everett just lets it go in the direction of Torrance Small. Deion Sanders, one of the defenders back there, thought he should have had an interception.
Watch Deion Sanders, and you see why he's such a good cover guy. I mean, he gets on there, and he has great speed. I mean, he just does all these things with speed, quickness, and all those things you have to be a great athlete. They don't want to use him now.
Out of bounds, that'll stop it. Quinn Early, defended by Deion Sanders. Everett back to throw it again. Pass complete to Early. I beg your pardon, to Michael Haynes.
Yeah, one thing about Michael Haynes is he has speed, so when he comes off the line like this, you have to think he's going to go deep. And then when he stops, then he can get that hook, because if you're the corner out there, if you're Deion Sanders, you know that you can run, but you also know that he can run. The same flight as she was.
Everett going deep and overthrown.
He was going to be a 49er in that Monday night game. And watch you here. Now, this is speed against speed. You see, he gets that hand up there, and then when he needs that little burst, you see it? You know, when we were talking to Michael Haynes last night, he said he thinks that Deion Sanders is the fastest player in the National Football League.
Third down. Everett to throw. Incomplete. Quinn Early, the intended receiver, they'll have to punt. Deion Sanders, the good coverage again.
Having only being 4 points down, I think was amazing.
Sanders followed Haynes. The pass underneath. Close to a first down is Haynes. Chased by Sanders.
Yeah, one thing that Haynes said yesterday, he said, I know if I get a step on Deion, I think he's fast, but if I get a step on him, he's not going to catch me. Now, this is a crossing pattern. He has a step on him, and Deion did catch him.
Brown, the lone setback. Everett fake to him. Gets rid of it. To Haynes, covered by Sanders.
Straight up the middle, you see that? And he's right at Everett's feet so that Everett couldn't step and throw through. Of course, Deion Sanders has perfect coverage, jumps in front of the ball, and then after that, he knows what to do with it. Watch out for Merton Hanks there. Merton Hanks looked like he was going after it.
Deion Sanders, in addition to being an excellent defensive back, would have made a heck of a drum major, wouldn't he?
I think he'd make a heck of it anything. I mean, I think he could be a receiver. He's a great punt returner, a great kick returner, baseball player, base stealer, hitter, whatever you want. He said if Deion's in there, we're going to go after him. You're going to see it right there. There's Fred Barnett. He's going man-to-man, or Deion Sanders is going man-to-man on Fred Barnett. Deion Sanders, even though he has a bad ankle, he has such great catch-up speed that he almost ran right by the ball after Barnett got by him. Although it looked like Fred Barnett could have caught that ball.
I saw Sean Landetta miss one at Soldier Field one time. Calvin Williams makes the reception from Cunningham. Deion Sanders on the tackle. Outside to Fred Barnett. Barnett out of bounds. Been there or ever since. Cunningham's pass.
Mitchell's pass up the middle, and a great catch made by Herman Moore. And a penalty flag is down after the catch.
Illegal contact, number 21.
If the guy is even, he's at a distinct advantage. Now watch how he works. See how he uses his body? All he's doing is he's playing the pivot man in basketball. He's keeping the ball between the defender and his...
Scott Mitchell under pressure, and his pass intended for Perriman. And
he must have heard me.
Deion Sanders got turned around.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Perriman was looking forward to Deion. He wanted to play him. You know, and Scott Mitchell's told me that I want to go after Deion Sanders. He said...
Quick release, Brett Perriman. And Perriman has the first down. Deion Sanders covering. Just got it off in time. Going to Perriman on a fade with Sanders step for step with him.
Yeah, that was Mitchell taking his shot. He came up and he went with red 78. And then the first thing he did is he looked off the safety. He looked to his right side, and he wanted Perriman to be able to just kind of take his time and then catch Sanders napping. But, you know, even when Sanders does nap, he's so fast that he can get right back into the play. Sanders on Sanders. Yeah, Sanders on Sanders. And both of them break on the ball. Both of them come back. You know, this is the mark of great receiver. Now, Barry Sanders, watch how he comes back to the ball, and watch how Deion both attack the thing and get to it at its highest point. Watch the end of this play. He goes down. Now watch Deion. Watch him, just watch him like, you know, I have nothing even to do with you. Think. I don't mean. See, he jammed him outside, and then he turned his head and looked back at the quarterback. Usually when that happens, you'll get a little bit of vertical separation.
On the previous play, Dilfer has some time, goes across the field, and it is incomplete, intended for Charles Wilson. Deion Sanders moving up on the coverage.
Gus Farrat. Incomplete, intended for Ellard. Farrat going deep, incomplete, intended for Desmond Howard. Crowd and the coaches of the Redskins looking for a flag, but none appears.
Look at Deion Sanders. He just pushed everyone off. He said he didn't do anything.
Farrat. Pass is low. Intended for Henry Ellard.
Anything, but here he is here, and he's going to run out, then he's going to run out, then he's going to run up. You see the out there? Deion didn't bite at all.
There's Gus Farrat. Pass is caught by Henry Ellard. Gets across midfield. Deion Sanders with the stop.
Yep, that was one on Deion there. Yeah, I think they've been kind of staying away from Deion. They tried to get him deep once in the first half. They tried to get him on an out and up, and that time they just got him on an in there. The last couple of plays has been playing on Alvin Harper.
And Deion looks like he might have injured his left hand.
Well, sometimes they'll stick that finger out there, and the ball will just hit their finger as they go for it. You know, if they get their hand out there, sometimes the ball just hits the finger. Interception here, and you'll see his fingers will just come off the ball. He said, the thing that I want to do is a slant. In other words, just get inside right now and come right here and get the ball right there. Do something quickly. He said, if he's up in there tight, I want to come, you know, stutter, boom, and then use his body to get between Deion and his quarterback.
Irvin to the 41.
There's that slant on Deion Sanders again. That's what Michael Irvin says. He said what he likes to run, if it's man-to-man, and it's tight man-to-man, he likes to run the slant or the fade, which is that quick up. Remember we said that against tight coverage, Michael Irvin likes to run that slant. Well, Deion Sanders is starting to understand it now, too. Yep. And he rode Irvin all the way. There was nothing to throw to there. Not going to work. Here's Deion Sanders up on this side. The ball has to go all the way across the field. When it's in the air that long.
47, and Aikman back to throw it again. Going deep, and there's no one there. In the direction of Alvin Harper.
I think about the only way that you can complete passes on Deion is to force him off the ball. He's in man-to-man coverage, gets that legal chuck. Now Flipper starts, stops. Now he comes back to the ball, keeping Deion behind him. When I talked to Chris Miller, he felt the best way to work against Deion is on comebacks. That's exactly what he threw there. Receiving. You know, if you're a gunfighter, every now and then you're going to get wounded. And Deion got wounded on that one. Deion comes up to try and jam him. Gets a pretty good jam. Flipper holds his feet, but again, does a nice job of keeping Deion behind him and then coming back to the ball. The better. Miller under a lot of pressure and throws it off a little bit. He said he had trouble jamming with that left hand. That was his jam hand. Now he has to play back. Flipper does a good job of getting his feet down as well.
Francisco, Rams with one last chance. Miller looking for Flipper, but Deion knocks it away. And
to get something going, Jim Everett throwing for the end zone, finds a wide open Deion Sanders.
Didn't I just do a great job on this one?
He actually was open.
Well, Deion's giving him some ground.
George wings it out in the direction of Andre Rison. Deion Sanders right with him.
You know what they call this? They call this a fade stop. A fade is just a quick up, and then if you start up and you stop, you see you start up and he's going to throw it short right there. He said, Jeff George was saying that's the one thing that they think they can get on Deion Sanders. The man out here, Andre Rison, is trying to run that fade. Deion Sanders gets that bump in there, then gets that left arm inside. Now, what that left arm does, that brings you up the field with him and brings you right into where he has to catch the pass. That's great technique.
There's Rison. He gets almost a first down.
Good round.
Incomplete, intended for Mark Say.
You know, if you're looking for the best covered defensive back in football, here he is, Deion Sanders. I mean, he is so quick, and he's such a good athlete. Watch how quick, when the guy turns to make his move, Deion does it as quickly as he does.
On play, remember he twisted his knee, pass is caught. That's close to another Charger first down by Mark Say, who was with the 49ers.
I think that's Mark Say's first catch of the day. He's going to be out there. He's up on top, and you just see him just run a little hook. Just comes up and stops right in front of Deion Sanders.
Ronnie Harmon is the man on the move. Pass is caught. That'll be another Charger first down.
You see Harmon comes in motion. He works to the outside. Then the outside receiver comes to the inside. Best game.
Humphreys. Open is Tony Martin.
Deion Sanders must be playing zone defense because he's laying off way too far. I mean, that's not like Deion. I mean, Deion is here, and he's so far off of Tony Martin that Tony Martin can run, but Deion Sanders is probably the fastest defensive back in the league. Now, he wasn't man-to-man there. He was playing some form of zone.
Humphreys. Pass complete to Martin again. Martin out of bounds.
Again, the 49ers are going into zone defense, and here's Martin. Here's Deion there, number 21. You see he's playing off. See, he's looking back at the quarterback. Now he looks back here. Now Martin can do anything in behind him. Once he gets behind him, he can just find that hole, and Humphreys hits him perfectly.
They've had more success than anybody we've seen against the 49ers against number 21.
Well, usually number 21's playing man-to-man. He's been playing zone here, and he's playing a soft zone.
Stadium, and look what just happened.
Yep, the Chargers were ready to get another touchdown here, but they made a mistake of throwing on Deion Sanders. And when Deion catches it, I mean, Deion Sanders is the fastest player in this league. And when he catches it, he just runs it straight up and no one can get him. I bet you in his life he was never it.
I bet not.
3rd and 6 on the blitz. Elway. It's skipped in and complete to Anthony Miller. First throw aimed at the speedy Miller. 1:19 to go. Elway deep for Miller against Sanders, and Deion gets a left hand on it. Well, that'll wake up Deion. I think he was getting a little bored over there. Not much action.
Doesn't like to play zone, prefers man-to-man, likes the confrontation. He looks like the bump on Anthony Miller. I'd like to see a foot race between these two guys, because Deion, I think, is the fastest defensive back in the league, and Anthony Miller's got to be one of the 2 or 3 fastest receivers. But that's the way he likes to play football. Be center stage, get the attention, try me. Miller goes by him. Look at Deion concentrate on the football. Maybe the 3rd best receiver, receiver that the 49ers have. The Super Bowl when they played the 49ers. Wide open.
Kimbrough, and Tony Kimbrough with a catch at the 15-yard line. Deion Sanders in on the tackle.
Difficult for them to knock him off stride.
From the 17, Salisbury throws, and Deion almost had a pick.
He almost did.
Well, at least they tried the other side of the field. They have been almost exclusively right-handed in their passing game tonight. Talking about the Minnesota Vikings, and at least they gave it an effort going to the left side.
Deion is so deceptive in his quickness now. He lets Carter get right on top of him. That ball just thrown a little bit behind. Could have been a 6-pointer.
If it's just thrown down and in front of Carter, he's got a chance to make a play on it, but not high and behind.
Timeout by Minnesota. 3rd and 10 at the 17-yard line, and a wobbler is caught at the 8-yard line, but David Palmer had to come back to get it. Doesn't pick up the first down. It's going to be